How do you intend supporting yourself? Or hadn't you thought about it?
I'll get a job.
Just like that?
Why not?
Well, you've no skill, have you? You can't even type.
So I'll learn a skill. I'm not completely helpless. Look, I will get a job, Dad. If it'll make you happy, I'll go out and start looking today. Just say so if that's what's worrying you, because it's easily enough remedied.
That child out there is what worries me, Anna. Her future is what worries me, which you seem to be giving precious little thought to.
I've thought of nothing else.
It's a strange way you have of showing it.
And staying with Keith. Staying married to a man I no longer care for. That's good for her future, is it? Well, is it? And what in heaven's name are you looking for?
Aspirin. I have a headache.
Anyone would think it was easy. Walking out that door, clutching a suitcase in one hand and Emma in the other. Leaving everything and everyone I've known for the last 4 years. Well, the easy way, Dad, would have been to stay put. To grin and bear it and say nothing.
The easy way, Anna, is to do precisely what you're doing. To run away. To duck your responsibilities. That is what you're doing, isn't it?
You tell me. You're obviously the big expert on responsibility around here. Daddy, we've never once finished a conversation. Do you know that? Not once in the last 2 days. Look, can't we just finish this one? We'll have to eventually, won't we?
A conversation, Anna, implies a dialogue. Give and take. Listening to another's point of view.
I do listen to your point of view. I do.
You never listen to anyone's point of view, Anna, except your own. That's the problem. Tell your mother I'll be back at the usual time, will you?
Excuse me.
Looking for someone?
Mrs. Chapinski sent me.
No, it's Lloyd Smith. Is Mr. Lloyd Smith your dad?
Yes. She said something about you being short-handed.
Oh, one way of putting it, I suppose. Reported to HQ yet?
Sorry?
Staff nurse brief. I'll do the honours, shall I?
Why not come in and talk to the doctor yourself? Put your mind at rest. No, any time's fine. See you then. Goodbye.
Reinforcements, would you believe?
Nurse Lloyd Smith? But you're a second year. We asked for a third year.
They're going to try and send one along later to replace me. I'm only on loan from Male Medical.
Have you ever worked in intensive care before?
No.
Have you ever been inside the unit before? Never. All right, Nurse Betts, you know the drill.
This way. In a bit, I'll give you the guided tour, show you what we do. But first off, you can show us what you can do, OK? Going to need all your powers of concentration, this love, definitely. You worked with Sister Ackroyd on Female Medical yet?
Yes.
You'll have had her sermon then on the subject of beds. A made bed is a happy bed, all that.
Yes.
Put this one out of its misery then, will you, while I go to coffee?
Hold still. Right, you are. Off you go. They've got their priorities right, haven't they? Kids. Play, eat, sleep, in that order. Oh, what a life.
Oh, she'll grow up soon enough. I just hope it'll be worth it, that's all this trouble. Making her father miserable, not to mention what Keith must be feeling.
You can't be too happy.
Goes without saying, surely.
You never do you, Mum? Say anything. Much less complain.
What's the good in that? Complaining never got anybody anywhere.
I wish I was more like you. I seem to be a born complainer. I know how senseless all this seems to you. And selfish. But I can't help feeling that you have to be selfish sometimes. Else you end up just living to please other people.
Well, that's all very well, dear, but you've got a child now, remember?
So?
So you've got somebody else to consider apart from yourself, haven't you?
It always seems to come back to that, doesn't it?
The truth.
Do you think she'll thank me for wasting my life in a hopeless marriage? Or for the glorious cause of motherhood? No, of course she won't. Then what I'd thank you if I thought that's what you'd done. If anything, she'll probably put me down as a prize mug.
Supposing you do get a job, who's going to look after her?
I'll have to find a creche.
Wouldn't be easy.
I know, but what's the alternative?
I could take her. Well, if you're determined to go through with this, I could have her while you're at work during the day, just for a start, until you'd found your feet.
Would you? Would you really?
If your father agreed.
Do you think he might?
Why not ask him?
No. He'll never agree, not a chance, not the way he feels.
Well, you don't know till you try. You always used to get your way with him. Why don't you meet him for lunch somewhere? Talk him round.
What, neutral territory?
One of you's got to bend a bit, make the first move. And believe me, you could grow old waiting for him to make it.
We're virtually a full house. Bed number 1, Mr. Amiga, septicemia. Number 2, Jane Wright, renal failure. 3 and 4, 2 mitral valve replacements. Mr. Hewitt, Mrs. Fisher. This is Nurse Lloyd Smith. She's going to look after you. Oh, you're doing lovely. Right. Number 5, multiple injuries and possible kidney damage. Some gang set on him at a football match. We're still waiting for him to regain consciousness. Come on, Toby. And over here, we had a barbiturate overdose, a girl. But we just lost her. Something you have to get used to here. Patients are usually unconscious, and you think if you do lose them, you wouldn't take it so hard, wouldn't you? Because they've been out for the count most of the time anyway. So being like that, it makes them that much more helpless, that much more dependent on you. So if you do lose them, you end up feeling worse somehow, like you're to blame. So, as I say, that's something you have to get used to. Either that or go mad. Come on. My party this way. Clinical room, sluice room and kitchen, and last but not least, the waiting room.
Hang about.
You still here, Mr. Wyatt? You'll take root soon.
I prefer to stay, nurse, just in case.
You want to go and sit with him a bit more?
So long as I'm not in anybody's way.
Of course not. Just clear it with the staff nurse as you're going through, or else you think I'm taking liberties.
Right. Thanks, nurse. I know there's not a lot of point, but I think I'm better off here than at work, even if there's not much I can do.
Father of the kid out of the football match. That's something else you have to get used to, the relatives. Sometimes they need more nursing than the patients.
What happens when you lose a patient? Like that overdose girl. Who tells them?
The relatives. The doctor usually, or sister. But if they're tied up or... Why? Does it bother you?
It's just I've never had to do it before. Not yet, anyway. I'm not sure I could.
You will. It's like I keep saying, love, you can get used to anything in time. Even that.
So, have you decided what you're going to do? Well, I assumed you'd come to some sort of decision, hence the sudden lunch invitation.
I told you my decision this morning, Dad. And it was Mother's idea we should meet for lunch.
Oh.
And she thought it might clear the air.
What is it exactly you want from me, Anna? My approval? You want me to approve your actions, is that it?
I'd rather have your understanding. I always used to have it, remember?
Yes, I remember. But I don't understand this. I wish I did. You had a good marriage.
Oh,
you
Dad.
did. You might not appreciate it at the moment, but you did. Keith's a good man. You're not likely to find another like him.
I don't want another like him, Dad. I don't want another man, full stop. At least not at the moment, anyway.
What do you want, then?
I got married when I was 19, Dad. 19. That's when other girls are going to universities and starting their careers.
Whose fault was that?
Okay. You thought we were too young, and you were right. I know you didn't want me to marry him, but what am I supposed to do? Pay for that mistake for the rest of my life?
No, darling, no. But you went into it with your eyes wide open.
Do you know what the real problem was with Keith and me? The fact that he wouldn't let us have a problem. Anything I said, he agreed with. It was like living with an echo. You don't know what that kind of irritation's like, Dad.
He lacks confidence, that's all. I always thought so myself. But that's not so terrible. You want to build him up. Try helping him.
I have tried helping him, Dad. I've done virtually nothing else for the last 4 years.
Look, any relationship is based on a compromise. Now, you should have learned that by now. Husband and wife, father and son.
Father and daughter.
I've agreed to you living at home again, haven't I? Even though all my instincts were against it. Now, what is that if not a compromise?
You're letting me stay at home, Dad, so as to give you the chance to talk me round. Now, come on, admit it.
Well, is that so difficult to understand? I am your father.
Well, you should be putting my best interests first,
That's
then.
precisely what I am doing.
I don't love him, Dad. I haven't loved him for years.
So why does he want you back?
Habit. That's all that was keeping us together in the end, anyway.
Suppose he fights you for Emma. For custody. He might. He'd be within his rights.
He's already said he won't. Look, I can always find somewhere else for me and Emma to stay.
In other words, I like it or lump it.
I didn't say
I am not
that.
in the habit of accepting ultimatums.
I'm not giving you one.
That's what it sounds like. Pay the waiter for me, will you? To get some air. See if I can't get rid of this headache. You know who I blame for this wretched business?
Me, presumably.
Myself. For never making you work at anything. That's the reason you always lacked direction. You were never prepared to stick at anything, work at it. It's the same thing with your marriage. You give up on it. Starts going stale, so you throw in the sponge. Well, that cuts both ways, I'm afraid. So don't be too surprised if people do the same thing to you. I'll pick you up outside.
Someone. An ambulance. A doctor. Someone. Just get help.
We'll take it.
Yes, but I want to stay with him.
Let's let the doctor do his stuff first. Nurse Laurie Smith, would you take this lady to the waiting room and give her a cup of tea?
He's going to be all right, isn't he? Well, isn't he?
We'll know more when the doctor's had a look at him, won't we? You go with this nurse now, OK?
Come on then, this way.
No, I want to stay with him. I have to stay with him.
Later. You can see him later.
You don't understand. There's something I have to say to him.
Come on then. Let's get back to you, Danny, shall we? He's in good hands, really. And there's nothing you can do for him at the moment, is there?
Endotracheal tube. And we'll need the ventilator. Quick as you can, he's going to arrest us if we're not careful.
What size tube?
9.
Here.
Thank you. I'll have to phone my mother and tell her what happened.
Would you like me to do it for you?
No, it'd be less of a shock if I do it. Is there a phone somewhere?
In the main corridor, just outside the ward. Are you sure you wouldn't like me to?
Yeah, quite sure. He had this headache during lunch. He said he had a headache, but I didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't think anything of it.
Why should you?
I just didn't think.
These things happen. No point in blaming yourself, is there?
Isn't there? I don't know what to say to her. How do you tell someone something like this?
Why not let somebody else do it for you? You've been through enough today. Anyway, it might be better coming from a stranger. Someone calm. She might feel more reassured.
Do you think so?
I'm sure of it. Look, you give me the number, and I'll get staff just to ring her now.
It's the coward's way out. I really should do it myself.
You're not a coward, love. Just human, like the rest of us. Drink your tea. Staff, she wants someone to ring her mother. Let her know what's happened. That's the number.
Right, I'll do it now.
Staff.
Look, you'd better ring her yourself. You know the line to take, don't you?
Yes, but...
Check with the notes if you're in any doubt. You've got to do it sometime. We may as well start now. And remember, stay calm. Don't say anything to panic her. OK?
May I have an outside line, please?
England recruit Ray stepped forward with a well-placed goal. Later, in answer to much muttered speculation about his team's title hopes, he told me, "Where are we now? 4th, not all that far behind Manchester City. They'll have to pull up their socks if they reckon on beating Manchester City. Either that or start playing for
90
a miracle."
systolic, 50 diastolic.
The Georges were never in it yesterday.
Mr.
2
Webster?
down within 29
Mr.
minutes.
Webster, your wife and daughter are outside. Do you want to see them for a few minutes?
He can't hear you.
Jones and Williams.
Don't know what he can hear, do we?
They could never reach
Besides, they encourage us to do it.
They?
The doctors. Hearing is the first sense that returns after unconsciousness, so they reckon the more we talk to them, the better. They say it helps stimulate the brain, maybe trigger off a reaction, especially if the voice is a familiar one, like a relative's.
That explains it.
By this time,
Your friend over there.
Edwards in goal made a fine save, leaping like a trout to the far right-hand corner.
And your husband has a history of heart trouble.
Sorry.
This coronary you were telling me about, when did he have it?
About 3 years ago.
No, it's more like 4, I'd say.
Oh. And he made a complete recovery?
Well, he was told to ease off at work.
Oh, yes,
from
sorry.
that,
What work is that?
he runs a chain of estate agents south of the river. Howard Webster and Son. You may have heard of them.
I live north of the
Except
river.
there is no son. That was just his joke. He thought it sounded better. Thought it was more impressive for the...
Mother.
I told him to ease off time and again. I told him he was working too hard, but would he listen?
Mrs. Webster, when someone has a stroke, there are many things, many reasons.
Where's my handbag? Did I do it?
Is this it?
Mrs. Webster, when someone has a stroke, there are many contributory factors. Overwork and strain can be part of it, but it can also happen for no apparent reason at all.
All the same.
Look, Mother, if anyone's to blame, it's me. It's
No
not you.
one's to blame. All right? And if he's going to get through this, you're both going to have to help. So save your energy for that, because you'll both need it.
Help him, but how?
By talking to him.
I thought you said he was unconscious.
Yes, he is. Look, Staff, would you explain the theory? I'd better get back. And I meant what I said about the energy. Because we might all be in for a... well, for a long wait. Okay?
And you're sure it's not too much for you having Emma? Well, if you're positive. No. No, there's no changes yet. Yes, I'll call you the moment anything happens. Well, by the looks of it, we'll probably be here all night. Yes. Right, I'll do that, Mrs. Turnbull, yes. You say goodnight to Emma for me? All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
How is he? Much the same. What about you?
I'm okay. Have you been nursing long?
Nearly 2 years. And still a student.
Don't you find it depressing, all that death and illness?
Sometimes. But it can be quite rewarding as well, though.
Not when they get better.
That's right.
It's assuming they do get better, of course.
Try not to be too pessimistic. The doctor isn't, is he?
Well, he hasn't said anything either way. Look, you mustn't let me keep you.
I'm on again tomorrow. I'll see you then.
And if you're not up and around soon, who'll see to the garden? You know how helpless I am. The place could go to...
You're doing fine, Mrs. Webster. Really.
He can't hear me. I know he can't.
Maybe not the actual words, but he might pick up something, sound of your voice. Keep trying, eh? For a bit longer, anyway.
Anyway, it's time we got those bedding plants out, isn't it? Stupid to waste all that money and let them rot in the greenhouse all summer.
sorry. Did I wake you?
I wasn't asleep. The worst part, isn't it, the waiting?
How long have you been waiting?
2 days. I'll tell a lie, 3. Your father, isn't it? They don't tell you much, do they? Doctors.
I suppose they're waiting as well.
I've no complaints, mine. I think I'll get some more of that coffee from the machine. Do you want one?
Thanks. I think I'll go and have a peek at Dad, see how he is. Is it okay if I sit with him for a while?
Or wouldn't you be better off getting some sleep?
Later, perhaps.
No. Don't wear yourself out. Don't want you as a patient as well.
Sorry, Dad. I'll go back if that's what you want. You just get better with you and I'll do anything you want. Ring Dr. Pierce. Tell him Teddy Wyatt's regaining consciousness.
Harper, ITU. Toby Wyatt regaining consciousness. Right, thanks.
Welcome back. Not before time. Don't try to speak. Not yet. Tebby Wyatt. Regained consciousness around 2 a.m. Dr. Pierce was in attendance. He's still got the notes to do. Mr. Webster. Definite deterioration there, I'm afraid. His BP's unrecordable now. His pulse is very weak. He no longer needs sedation, but we've kept him on antibiotics. He's got a chest infection. Altogether, Dr. Pierce is pretty pessimistic. The wife and daughter stayed all night, and the doctor asked us to have a word with them, just in case.
How did they take it? Well, the mother seemed to be expecting it almost, didn't she? But the daughter seemed to blame herself for some reason.
Anyway, we put them in the picture as best we could, and the doctor will probably talk to them himself later on. Mr. Amiga, he had a rather restless night again, and his BP's up slightly. Apart from that, no change. Oh, Mr. Hewitt, do you all know Mr...
He's arrested.
What's the situation here?
Mrs. Newcross? I think you better wake your mother.
That's it, I suppose. It's just a question of getting used to it.
Name of the game, I'm afraid. Still, didn't lose out completely, did we?
I put the kettle on.
Oh, let's have something stronger. For medicinal purposes. You should be thinking of collecting Emma from next door.
No hurry. How do you feel?
Numb. How should I feel?
You were fantastic. You put me to shame in front of that doctor.
Oh, I don't know. I've been half expecting it somehow. The way he kept on working day and night, never letting up, never. Sometimes it was as if he was deliberately trying to kill himself.
Daddy?
I really don't think you knew your father at all, Anna. Come to that, I'm not sure that anybody did.
Except you.
Including me. He wasn't a very affectionate man, Howard. Not what you call demonstrative.
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't possibly know. You'd have to have been married to him to know that. I'll have a top-up, please.
You get blotto?
Oh, what a tempting thought. I'll have to go back there tomorrow to the hospital to get his...
Yeah, we'll go together.
And then there's the funeral. Oh, I shouldn't have said that about him, should I? It was disloyal.
Nonsense.
Disloyal and unfair. I'm tired.
Not surprised. What would you say to us getting ourselves a flat somewhere?
Together?
Why not?
I don't want you doing anything out of a sense of obligation, Anna. From a sense of duty.
But you'd be doing me the favour, not vice versa.
You know what you said about blaming yourself at the hospital? You mustn't.
I can't help it. I can't help thinking that if we hadn't had that lunch, hadn't argued the way we did... It's true, isn't it? I've decided to go back to Keith.
Oh.
It's assuming you'll have me back, of course.
When did you decide that?
Last night sometime, does it matter?
Why did you decide it? You must have some reason.
Something Daddy said about me being directionless. About not being able to stick at anything. I don't know, maybe he had a point.
Howard said that, did he?
Yes, when we had lunch.
Well, he had no right.
You said it too, remember?
Neither of us had any right then. Ye gods, when I think if we'd had the courage to do what you're trying... Come and sit down, Anna. Please. Our marriage wasn't all it should have been. Your father and me, he was a good man. But we didn't make each other happy. It's as simple as that.
Why didn't you leave him?
I did. I did. I packed my bags and I took you off to my parents, the way you came back to us last week. Except that I didn't have the courage to go through with it. Finding somewhere to live, getting a job, I couldn't do it. I couldn't cope with it all, so I took the easier way out. I came back. He assumed that I was just staying with my parents, so I let him assume it. And once I'd done that, from that moment, our marriage was a lie. That's why, when you told us about your decision to leave Keith, why I seemed so against it, I had to be. In condoning your actions, I would have been condemning my own.
Was it that bad with Daddy?
No, far from it. But it wasn't all that good either, and that's the point, isn't it? So, if you really are out to prove something to your father, Anna, prove you can stick to something and stick to your decision. Oh, stick to your decision.
Somebody outside asking for you.
Male or female?
Male, since you ask. Mr. Wyatt, father of Toby, the football kid. Remember?
But Toby's been transferred to male medical. What does he want with me?
Haven't the faintest. But whatever it is, I think he's planning on saying it with flowers.
You sure he asked for me? Me in person? Positive. Stick around, kid. In this particular instance, 3 is definitely not a crowd. Hello, Mr. Wyatt. Nice to see you again. How's Toby?
All fine, nurse. Coming along, you know. Nicely.
Oh, good.
Actually, I was on my way up to see Toby, and I thought, I never got the chance to thank you properly for all you did.
Think nothing of it.
One doesn't forget, at least I don't, when someone extends a helping hand like you did. One doesn't forget. Anyway, enough said. I hope you'll accept these as a token of my very sincere appreciation.
Very kind of you, Mr. Wyatt, but it's not necessary.
I insist. Please.
Well, thank you.
Quite marvellous she was. Sat up with me half the night. Endless cups of tea. All but kept me going.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wyatt. It was a lovely thought. Do give my love to Toby when you see him.
Now I'm here, I wonder, could I have a quick word? Just a quick one. I won't keep you long. They don't look much, I know. But I thought it's silly to give them in full bloom, isn't it? They won't last.
They're lovely.
I don't generally give way to impulse like this. But the fact is our annual dance is coming up, and it's nothing fancy, but they generally put on a good spread in the way of food and music and so on. And it occurred to me, that is, it crossed my mind that you might like to... No? Well, it was just a thought. I'd best be getting up to Toby. He'll be wondering what's happened to him.
So, what did he want?
He asked me out. At least that's what he was leading up to.
What about his wife?
You might well ask.
I'm going to miss it, I know I am. My train back to Glasgow. 3 o'clock my interview was supposed to be. It's past 4 now.
Mine was for 2:45.
Well, I've got a ruddy cheek, if you ask me, keeping us hanging around like this.
I hate them. Interviews. Even at school, I always have said the wrong thing. Either that or I dried up completely.
Well, I'll have something to say to Miss H. Windrup if she doesn't get a move on her, I can tell you.
Or else I start stuttering. Did that in my French O-level oral. I stuttered all the way through it.
Did you pass? Well, you don't need it for nursing anyway, do you?
No.
She must be giving her the 3rd degree. It's a good 20 minutes since she went in.
Are you applying for the School of Nursing as well?
Eh?
The SRN course.
Oh, good heavens, no. Is that what you're here for, then?
Yes. What's your interview for?
I'm after the sister's post in A&E. Accident and emergency. It was advertised in the Nursing Press.
Sister's job? What, like
A ward sister?
That's right.
So you're already an SRN?
Yes, I did it in Scotland.
Was it difficult?
Difficult?
The course?
There isn't really a course. Well, not in the sense you mean. There's a few weeks in the classroom to start off with, but after that, they chuck you in at the deep end.
I wonder if it's a good sign.
What?
Taking so long over interviews. I never know if it's a good or bad sign.
My old SNO in Glasgow used to say, when she interviewed prospective nurses, she knew if they were suitable as soon as they set foot in the door. So, by that token, maybe it's not a good sign.
And now I'd like to go back to your decision to take up nursing. Was this before or after your separation?
After my separation. And after my father died 2 months ago, as I've already told you.
I just want to be quite certain I have the facts in the right order of events, Mrs. Newcross. To be perfectly candid, I must confess to being somewhat puzzled by the apparent suddenness of your decision.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that nursing is a particularly demanding profession. Consequently, needs a particularly strong motivation to enter it. If one hopes to sustain the course, that is. That's why I want to be quite sure you've thoroughly thought out your reasons for wanting to go into it.
I think I have.
You've made your decision under rather trying circumstances, though, haven't you?
Well, do the circumstances matter?
If they affect the quality of the decision, then yes, they do.
Quality of my decision?
Let's assume, for argument's sake, if you like, that there are two types of decision. On the one hand, the kind that is based on clear, rational thought, the considered result of an objective assessment of the facts at hand. Then there's the other sort, the more instinctive, emotional sort. Stronger than the first, perhaps, but ultimately more transient. Because, like the emotions from which it stems, it tends to burn itself out. Let's go back for a moment, shall we, to the time you made your decision. Just after your father's death, you said?
Yes.
Now tell me about it. Or what happened? How you felt?
He had a stroke. He was taken to your intensive care unit and he died the following morning.
And you stayed with him, did you, during that time?
Yes.
It must have been very distressing for you.
Yes, it was.
Not least feeling so helpless, having to simply stand by while the experts took over.
Exactly. Well, they tried to include us, the nurses and the doctor, encouraged us to talk to Dad in case it helped. Triggered a reaction. But it didn't. I think they were just trying to help us, in fact. Make us feel useful.
And did you?
No, not really.
I suppose that made you feel guilty in turn.
Inevitable, isn't it?
So you started thinking about taking up nursing. Perhaps to try and assuage that guilt? Fair interpretation of the facts, wouldn't you say?
It's one interpretation, certainly.
But not yours.
No. Look, I thought you people wanted nurses. I thought there was supposed to be a shortage.
So there is.
Well, you seem to be trying to put me off.
Mrs. Newcross, as I explained, I'm simply trying
I could
to
have come in
establish-
here with some neatly worked out bit of patter about how I've always wanted to be a nurse because I've had some divine calling to help suffering mankind. Well, I don't. Maybe I am trying to assuage that guilt, or however it was you put it. I don't know. All I do know is I need a job. And I wanted to do something with a bit more meaning to it than simply pounding a typewriter all day. And to my mind, that's good enough motivation. And it happens to be the only one I've got. I'm also sorry for having taken up so much of your time.
Mrs. Newcross, I will decide when this interview is to be terminated. Kindly return to your seat. As I tried to point out, Mrs. Newcross, I just wanted to establish your motive. As you so freely admit, yours might not be the most noble in the world. It has the ring of truth about it, if nothing else. I want you to take this note to room B404. It's in the basement, just beyond X-ray. Can't miss it. Give it to the woman behind the counter.
What is it?
Necessary authorization for your uniform fitting.
Uniform?
Yes, you can start with the next set.
But I thought there was a waiting list. Well, that's what the nursing school told me.
There is. We make the occasional exception for mature applicants. You're not the only one round here who can make an impulsive decision.